The party make the return journey to Sleet's lair to retrieve the remainder of the treasure and some more scales. During the trip, Grimes has a strange experience where he loses time while scouting, but he thinks nothing of it. When they reach the pass leading to Sleet's lair, they find a band of kobolds sniffing around, and so dispense divine retribution on the interloping kobolds, taking a single prisoner. When they find Sleet's lair undisturbed, and after establishing dominance with the prisoner, they release it. They spend a few days collecting the remaining treasure, some more leather, and various dragon bits, much to the amazement of Nimrod. Eventually, they make the return trip to the fort. On the way, they spot some gnolls, but decide to deal with them later. They restock and head off towards the city on the lake, stopping at the creepy forest on the way. Yaramir insists on once more entering the forest of acid-excreting trees for magical experiments, and they take a day to prepare. The following day, William and Yaramir enter the forest. They reach the willow in the centre with no problems. Yaramir finds that this area may have something to do with magical travel. He decides a deeper investigation is needed, so sends William away and opens his mind. William reaches the edge of the forest quicker than he expects, and is informed by Grimes he was sprinting out, though he had no memory of it. Meanwhile, Yaramir is having a bad trip, receiving only intense hatred from the willow. He tries to destroy the tree, but it is too strong, so he flees instead. The party reunite and decide to leave the deadwood far behind. When they reach the city on the lake, Yaramir proposes an unusual idea to cross the river using tarp, the magic fan, and the sleigh. They try Yaramir's plan and make it across without horribly dying, and find themselves in a surprisingly intact city named Conquest. They decide to start by exploring the temples for signs of wealth. They enter the dark warrens below the frozen temples, but do not find much of value other than mass graves, torture devices, and cells. Until they stumble across 4 individuals frozen in a pristine state. The party decide to lug them up and defrost them overnight, so they can get at whatever wealth these ancient Caledonians carried on their person. What further dark secrets are hidden beneath Conquest? What revelations do the frozen Caledonians reveal? When will the Scrags show themselves? Let's find out now on Frozen Frontier.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Frozen Frontier. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty well. Good. Oh, I can actually move my mic a little bit closer and screw up all your audio levels really fast. Hold on.
It was perfect before. What are you doing?
There we go. How's that?
Is it perfect, Neal?
Is it perfect now?
I guess we can just talk like this for the rest of the session. How's it going, everyone?
We all sound like radio hosts on a movie and a long car ride down Route 66.
You know how it is.
Do you even know what Route 66 is?
He doesn't even know what Route 66 is.
It's a road.
Where does it start and where does it end? What states does it pass through? When was it developed? How long was it in function?
Do you know even half of those?
I know like 4/5 of those, yes.
Doesn't it go north to south, Texas to...
I mean, it goes more east than west. It's diagonal.
So in the U.S., you can actually odd numbers run north-south, even run east-west.
Yep. State highways. That is the interstate system. Route 66 is a little bit different. It's a diagonal road from Illinois out to the southwest.
Sure, but it generally runs west, east west.
Yeah.
Well, if you think Route 66 interesting, let me tell you about the M23. No, just
isn't that just a circle around London?
I just made it up. I'm not sure what the M23 is.
How's everyone's last few weeks been? It's been a while since we've had a full cast.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Pretty good. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. I got Van Helsing up to level 70 as a paladin. He's looking much better as a paladin than he ever did as a white mage.
Makes sense.
I've kept the gear pretty accurate. Like I've got a scimitar and like a small shield. Most of the appearance isn't though, because I discovered you could have pompadours in that game, and the whole appearance thing went downhill from there.
What game is this?
Final Fantasy 14.
Is that the online one, the MMO?
Yeah, it's the MMO.
Okay.
I did have a heart attack a couple weeks back when I was playing it though, because I was planning to head out at like 11, and I just hopped on to do some dailies when I get a message from this weird question mark on my friends list that's like, "Where are you, Sean? Fro needs you."
I edited out other pieces of that.
Was this last Sunday?
Yeah.
So you weren't responding to your phone messages, but
I didn't get any
Neal had it spelled wrong.
That's right. I had sent Sean various texts over the last few months, only to realize I had his number wrong.
You didn't even have a valid phone. I'm amazed that your phone let you send those messages.
Yeah, I was missing a digit, and it didn't tell me that the messages were sent to an incorrect phone number. So
it tends not to do that.
I think it's all fine now.
Yeah.
How have you been, Greg? How's life?
Life's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I was really sick for like a couple weeks back now. Like I lost my voice and shit. It was bad, but made it through that. Been playing God of War, which is really fun. I really enjoy God of War. I got really, 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 really salty at certain things, but despite that, super fun. I killed all the Valkyries, and that was probably the most intense gaming that I can do. Now I have to like bring it back. I need something really easy. I want to play like Myst, some point and click adventure. I don't have to try.
You sound like me playing Dark Souls. I remember I did like a challenge run at one point for some reason, and I got stuck on this one part for 4 hours straight, and it was literally just me like nonstop bitching the entire time.
Yeah, no, I mean the Valkyrie Queen. It took me 5 hours, 5.5 hours on stream over 2 sessions to beat the Valkyrie Queen. And I was more than salty. I was pretty crazy, but the good news, the point is we won, and that's all that matters.
Good. What about you, Nick? How's life?
Yeah, life's good. You know, not too busy at work. I'm just waiting to leave, so that's good.
Have they just stopped giving you things to do?
Sort of. I mean, I've got some stuff to do, but it's not enough to keep me going for a month. Yeah. Been playing Neverwinter Nights. Malachi's now level 21.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're well past the point where it just everything falls apart.
Well, it's kind of annoyed me, right? Because they've like, I built the character. I don't know how well you know 3rd edition, but
a little.
I was trying to get high saves on necromancy spells, so I could cast Wail of the Banshee, which is like a level 9 huge AOE save or die spell, right? So I've like maxed out intelligence. I've taken epic spell focus and necromancy. I've chosen necromancy as my specialized school. Like all of this shit, trying to get my DC as high as possible. Only to find out that the spell Death Ward has been made undispellable on the server, and you can put it on wands. So like every fighter has got a Death Ward wand that's undispellable. So completely useless for PvP. So kind of annoyed me.
And this is the big downside with playing games like Neverwinter Nights online.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Last but not least, Ryan, how's life? What's up?
Life's good. I don't know. We played some Dice like that this week.
It was good.
Got a new dwarf game going.
It's Wyhod.
Oh, is what's his name dead?
Yeah, Neal did a dumb.
Neal did a stupid one.
I don't know.
Huh?
I might have to catch up then. The new episode.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll probably be playing with crafting rules and stuff. Other than that, no. Played a couple games of Dota this week.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me? I got Neal in on one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How'd
we
that
had
go?
to reinstall Dota just for Ryan.
We got our asses kicked, but
Yeah.
I only had like an hour to spare, so we only had one game. And
how did it go, Neal? Because I remember distinctly my first game ever of Dota. I played oh god, I already forgot his name. It's been a long time. I'm sorry, Ursa. The wolf dude. I went like 0 and 11 with him. And my friends kept apologizing the whole time, like, I'm sorry, he's new, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I've played a little bit of Dota before, so I picked up my old character, Sniper, and tried to sit back and just right-click things, but just got dove over and over again and wrecked.
So what's your opinion on Dota versus HOTS now?
He's not good enough for Dota, apparently.
I think HOTS is the more fun game. And
filthy casual
better of the two. That doesn't mean Dota's not a good game, but I think HOTS is
just better. Yeah,
I think it promotes the things that I want in my MOBAs and my team games. It promotes a lot more like teamwork and cohesion, and a lot less like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go over here and then I'll like carry at the end of the game. Don't worry about it. It requires the team to be working together all the time. At all levels of play. So Dota does at all. Well, yeah, Dota you can hard at higher levels. Yeah, you can have one person just carry the team, and
which is nice. I'm going to be honest. It's really nice that you can actually just straight up carry a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard that they've added talents into Dota now.
Yes,
kind of. Yeah.
Obviously, realized the superior game, right? And
that was a nice addition. Thanks to
one real nice thing about Dota is that they do have like smaller mechanics that are more interesting, like last hitting and denying, which are they're good mechanics to have.
Yeah.
I like
those. One of the weird ones that took me a long time to get used to, but I actually kind of like now, is that everyone has a turning speed, and it's actually different for different characters.
Oh, really?
So like if you want to be able to
no,
you don't turn on a dime like in League or HOTS. You actually like will turn around slowly, and it's different for different characters. So actually considering which direction your character is facing is important if you want to be able to move somewhere very quickly.
That's quite cool.
Or last hit quickly.
Yeah, and it also makes aiming skill shots easier because you know which direction the other person is going to be most easily able to dodge.
Oh yeah, I'll take that. That's good.
Cool. So that's our recap of what everyone's been up to. So let's sort of hop into game. Last we saw, you guys were in the dungeons. Snorting something.
Yeah.
What's all the commotion?
We just carried all of the frozen bodies up, right?
Yes. All of these frozen bodies that I'm showing in chat now.
Where did we carry them? Did we need to like chip them off the floor? Are their feet still stuck to the dungeon stones?
Their feet were not stuck to the dungeon stones.
We've already carried them all up. I think we did all the dex checks and everything.
Right. So you've got the knight, the young girl with the amulet or the symbol of the royal family on her, the handmaiden, and the wizardy looking bloke. And you've brought them all up to the upper levels of the. What is this? This is the Temple of Velmontarius, the Temple of Justice, and the dungeons down below.
So, setting down the last body as I've carried it up the stairs, I look over to Yaramir and say, "So what's the plan with these now? Do we just thaw them one at a time, or is there any way of?"
I mean, I could thaw them out faster, I guess, with burning hands. I could shoot it at all of them.
We should take it slow. Do one at a time.
Well, I'm wondering if there's any sort of way that we could prevent these bodies from liquefying, or if there's any further information we could get from them. Perhaps we could test on the other frozen bodies down in the dungeon first.
I'm wondering. We saw that those restrained bodies before still had their spirits attached to them. I'm wondering if these frozen bodies might be in the same condition.
Well, it's outside of my realm of speciality, I say, turning to Yaramir.
Do not look at me. They talk to Grimes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Grimes? See any ghosts?
Care to perform a seance?
No ghosts. No.
Maybe.
There's no souls stuck to these bodies.
Were the previous souls you saw connected to unfrozen bodies, or were those bodies frozen too? can't recall.
Those are
that.
the tortured souls.
Frozen in the same way that everything's frozen, but not like ice cubes like these.
I imagine that these are just gonna liquefy as soon as we thaw them, right? Yaromir?
Probably.
This is reasonable assumption, yes. I have jar ready.
Do you not think it's worth thawing one of the other randoms down there first?
I really don't care who we get. I don't think the person they were back in the day will change their body in liquid ooze. Like, I don't think liquid body ooze really matters who you were originally. It just matters that you are now ooze.
You think that the only thing we can get out of these is the items they're carrying?
If that's
The only thing of value.
I am sure items they carry could be valuable. You could sell them.
This guy's sword looks... Is it a sword, Neal? The knight?
Yep.
Yeah, like, it looked fancy, right? Like, you know, this knight could have a magical sword. There could be all sorts on here. Hopefully that's
William, I know you desire fanciness, but, like, come on. You have magical jumping sword of plus many.
you know.
I do.
Is his gear like bronze or steel?
Let me take a look here. La la la.
Actually, on that note, what is all of our? Because we have like new magic gear now. What gear that we have is like bronze, and which parts are steel or iron?
I think all my stuff's steel.
Let's see. Knight has a steel breastplate, steel chain limbs, steel two-handed sword, and a dagger. Probably steel as well, but it's sheathed.
Well,
Can't really tell.
If the body's liquefied, Yarmir, do you think the rapid liquefying of a body might be time catching up with them when they're thawed?
I'm not sure. I attempted many experiments back when I had liquid body to play with. It does not seem that the body itself is magical. The magical effect is the ice itself. So whatever process it is turning body into goop is probably natural. So I think that is a fair assumption, Ferris.
So from there we can guess that knight's armor is probably going to rapidly rust as soon as
That is very possible, yes.
I'm no scientist, but when you freeze meat and then unfreeze it, it doesn't age as if it had been unfrozen the entire time, right? So it's not normal that this should happen. So perhaps there's some way to stop whatever magic is doing this.
Truly, lifestyles of rich and famous are quite different, aren't they? How did you go about freezing meat?
Have you never been to an ice bar?
Yeah. We take it down to where Faris used to live. Store it out there for the winter.
How very interesting. You miss out on things when you are hermit.
Yep, that's it.
I heard it was common fashion in Drekus to construct an ice bar, a nice underground bar made entirely of ice.
Who told you about them?
Yes, how did Elf get in fancy ice bar?
I never got in. I've simply heard the rumors.
The wealthy in Wickthrone and Renta often kept personal ice boxes in their cellars.
Yeah, it's not totally unheard of. Peasants.
I am blown away. This is news to Yaromir. I could have been keeping pig for a long time rather than eating quickly.
Yaromir just eats a whole pig at once.
How do you think I stay so skinny?
Yarmir eats 5,000 calories a day, never gets any fatter.
Neal, would there not be a chance maybe that Solwick exports ice as a commodity?
No, you don't export ice. How the hell are you going to export ice without refrigeration?
You pack it in more ice.
Yeah.
If you pack it with a lot of ice, a little bit of ice will make it to the end.
No, there's no exporting of ice. Ice is a rare commodity available only during winter. And some very special times and places.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I still think it's worth trying to find a way to stop this magical aging when we thaw the bodies. But I suppose I'm no expert.
What do you want these bodies for, William?
I don't know. I just feel like it's not right that they just dissolve straight away. There's something going on, and
It's not right that the gods curse this continent, and
no, but it's not normal. It's magical. There could be clues into why it's happening, or why it's happening or how it's happening could give us clues as to what's going on here.
To gather as much loot as possible.
Are you telling me that you're not intrigued by this place?
Machine.
What could possibly have done all this? What's the reason for that wall around that forest? There's something going on here, and
it's certainly intriguing, but I'd just as soon defrost that amulet and get the hell off of this iceberg.
Well, it's one way of looking at it, I suppose. If nothing can be done, nothing can be done. Let's start a fire. And I guess I'll go and gather some firewood from the sled.
Sure. You open up the portable hole, dump out some firewood, get a little roasty fire going. Who would you like to thaw out
For the
first?
record, Neal, Persians had refrigerators in like 5th century BC.
For a limited period of time, and there are yes, some people did store ice, and yes, ice was traded in some small areas in the ancient world, but it was not commonplace. We're talking about the exception to the rule here.
Yeah.
And just because the Persians did it for a short period of time in the, I don't even know, early Middle Ages, early medieval period?
No,
pre-medieval, classical period, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it was done commonly for large places, and definitely not.
It definitely was still shippable, though.
Anyway.
Clearly, if you played Civilization, you know that refrigeration is a late game tech. No one had refrigeration until like well after industrialization.
Yeah. Ice was a...
Because Civ is 100% accurate to all things, okay?
Ice was extremely rare in times other than freezing winters for like 99.99999% of humanity.
Well, yeah, but that's because 99.999% of humanity lived in poverty and literally didn't make any money
Right,
until...
sure. So
All right. I didn't mean to start this.
I didn't need to derail this. I just saw Neal shit talking and
Let's.
well, it's because whenever you say, "Oh, this wasn't around," everyone's like, "But this one time, someone managed to do that thing, so it should exist everywhere." And it's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, so there's a knight. There's the princess. There's what looks like a wizard, right? And then there's like what looks like a handmaid for the princess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we start with the handmaid, unless anyone else has got any objection.
What are you exactly suggesting?
so where can we set the scene a little bit? Where are we having this?
You guys are
we're above the
upstairs.
deck, right?
You are in the temple of Velthara. I'm sorry, Velmontarius, the god of justice in Conquest. Let's bring up the little map there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
So it's the small purple circle above the keep,
Yeah.
near the market square.
Okay. Do any of these other bodies look like they might have any ferrous metals on them? Like anything that would rust over time? Because I kind of want to not do the knight first.
No, let's do the handmaid first.
Right, but I'm looking for... I really want to test the theory of if it's just the body or if there's anything else that looks like it would... like steel shows pretty quick signs of decay if you don't take care of it, right?
Yeah.
Steel rust over very fast. And I'm wondering if any of them have any items that look like they would have clear signs of age.
Well,
Very, very clear and easy to spot signs of age.
I mean, their clothes, right? Like everything other than their bodies.
The girl, the young girl, that looks to be like 16-year-old or so, has assorted jewelry on her and some rings and stuff. Maybe
Does
that
it all
might...
look silver?
It looks some silver, some gold.
Okay.
Combination of gems and other things.
All right. I'm mostly wondering because I want to see if there's any way. If we do find out that's the case, I'm wondering if we can stop the process. It'd be cool if we could salvage that armor. It'd probably sell for a decent amount considering it's steel.
So let's test this. But I think, what if you said, Yaramir, that the ice was magical, but not the body, right?
This was my experience previously, yes.
So what if the initial freeze, when it happened, anything that was frozen at that moment is trapped in this ice that somehow tracks time, right? And then when it's thawed, the time that's passed is impacted. But if anyone just froze naturally after the initial blast, then maybe that's like real freezing?
Sure, this is possible. All things are possible with magic, Malachi. You must open your mind as wide as it can.
Malachi.
Who's
William, I am sorry. I'm still coming down from many shrooms.
All right. Well, I think I go to hoist the handmaid's frozen corpse to the fire.
All right.
If anyone stops me.
What part of her would you like to thaw out first? Are you just gonna hold her over the entire fire?
No, I lie it down next to it, face first. You know,
Can I prop her up on something? Like, can we put some stones under her so that she forms like a little angle, and then put a little jar under her to collect the drippings?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Sure enough, the ice on the outside thaws, and then the body inside begins to liquefy and putrefy and kind of runs down this weird, pussy, slimy goop into Jaramir's jar.
What about the clothes and stuff?
It seems to be... The clothes seem to be fine. They don't seem to be too badly impacted. Other than by the, heat of flame.
Before you wore them.
So
we have a fire going in the temple.
Yes.
Just in the entrance.
So, if we move this body away from the fire, does it continue to liquefy? Like, does it seem to be air exposure, or does it seem to be the heat?
No, the entire thing will liquefy and slide up that hole. Yeah.
It makes me feel uneasy every time.
Yeah, and she's just like a goopy thingy, and now there's like an ice sheet, except for some spots in the shape of a woman, and just like the insides have flowed out. Yeah.
Which one is this?
Did the jewelry get destroyed?
No, her jewelry is still intact.
The handmaiden had jewelry?
Grimes, would you like to pick that
500
up?
copper worth of jewelry.
Grimes, would you care to pick that up?
Yeah, I might pick up.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It won't hurt you, Ferris, I promise. Look. Like, touch it, and I go to put my finger near you with it, like, on my finger.
Ferris grabs your wrist, like, move the hand or lose the hand.
Oh, dude, it's fine. I like you grab my wrist. I like do that thing. I try to get your wrist with my finger.
Ferris starts like slowly pulling out the knife that he has on his belt.
All right. I promise, though. I will get to you eventually, germaphobe.
So, 5 minutes later, once this starts to happen, I stand over it looking disappointed and say, well, there's nothing new here. Maybe we should just stack all the bodies next to the fire and get this done with. Unless anyone's got any other thoughts.
I'm curious to see what happens with this knight's armor. I'm wondering if it's people or if metals will go through the same process.
Actually,
just
Yarmir, you're able to dispel magic, aren't you?
Yes, this is a skill I have.
Could you try dispelling these corpses?
I could tomorrow, yes.
Maybe we should wait then.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan.
I mean, is it really worth that level of magic just to get rid of their...
For experimentation?
Shell? It seems fire's doing a great job.
I'm curious. I'd be interested in seeing the results.
Is there a great cost involved, Yarmir?
I mean, it's cost of brain space, like, it's very important to have as many, like, places in brain filled with magical possibilities, and,
Yarmir can only store 4 terabytes of data right now.
Putrefying. It could be...
Your brain looks big enough. I'm sure you can fit it in there, right?
My wife often told me I had big head, yes.
Less of the smut, please. Thank you. It's a serious mission.
All right.
That was meant to be self-deprecating, and it sounded a little funky.
Okay, so you guys spend the rest of the day kind of relaxing, resting, talking, exchanging ideas. Luckily, you're sleeping in this mostly intact temple because you wake up partway through the night with the winds outside howling and whipping as a blizzard picks up.
Can we bring all the dogs into the temple too?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, the temple's big enough that we could do it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit disrespectful, but no priest around to yell at us.
Plus, I mean, at this point, I think we've already... if we truly believe that the gods are here in Caldonia, then we've probably already pissed them off enough by being here, right?
You are all over the place, Grimes. The gods abandon this continent. The gods are watching over this continent. It doesn't matter what we do here. The gods aren't watching this place. No, we can't bring the dogs into the temple. It's sacrilege.
Just hedging my bets.
Perhaps the dogs should stay with Reluna? Is that his name? No. What is his name? Nadinus. Nadinus is... Damn it. I had point, and now I have lost it. Jaromir needs to go study his religion again. Hold on. You guys must know this. Who is goddess of nature? Nadinus. Dogs should stay with Nadinus. This was point I was trying to make because Nadinus would be okay with it, but then I think I said she should stay with goddess of love, and that is very weird. I am not into puppy love. This is bad timing for Jaromir to lose his mind.
Isn't it
Jaromir, try cutting back on the shrooms.
Where did you even find those mushrooms, Jaromir? Did you buy them in specially?
I plead fifth.
Spending the princess's money on getting high, eh?
It is mind expanding. Remember what I said about brain space.
Anyway, you guys can... It's blizzarding, but you've got a building, but there's no doors on the building. So you could... I don't know what you want to do with your day.
We probably set up some kind of barrier for the entrance, like grab some old furniture, things that haven't completely crumbled, and build a barricade for most of the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, say we wanted to go from the Velmontarius temple to the Velfara temple in the blizzard, could we do that, or is it too far that it's dangerous?
Let's open up the map again. From the Velmontarius to the Velfara dungeon?
Or the Bellum, yeah.
So we're talking some hundreds of feet here, a couple thousand feet to go. It would be, the problem is finding it, because in the blizzard it's like a total whiteout, right?
Yeah. No, you're right, it's probably best just waiting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we kill some time then. I mean, there's still...
Did you want to cast your Dispel Magic today in the blizzard? Or are you going to wait till the blizzard passes?
Oh, sure, I will cast Dispel Magic. It's okay.
Do we want to confirm that nothing here is enchanted before you dispel it?
Oh, that's a good point.
Like, because if there's any potions around, you'll ruin them.
I presume Jaromir knows how to detect magic.
You know, honestly, it's a good point. I totally did not think of this.
Yeah.
Seems my weird ways are rubbing off on good old Grimes. How does it feel to be rubbed off
Just
on?
looking out for the valuables.
So it's important skill set for one in your position. Sure. I've already casted Detect Magic in the vicinity of these. I imagine there's no magic.
You haven't yet.
Yeah, I have. I did it down there when we were fucking around with the.
Well, they've got magic
hole.
stuff on them.
Yeah, I don't recall you casting a Detect Magic.
So as you cast a new Detect Magic on them, or maybe the first one, who knows, you will see that the young girl has a ring on it with an enchantment that seems to be pulsating, almost like some sort of beacon. It goes from no enchantment to strong, and then back to nothing, and then up to strong, and just kind of like a pulsing magical signature.
Is that the girl that we liquefied?
No.
Okay. So we don't have that ring yet.
No. The swordsman has no magic on him whatsoever. The handmaiden's gone, but none of her belongings had magic. And the spellcaster, his staff radiates magic.
Sick.
It seems as if this one felt need to have magic stick. I don't know why you would need magic 10-foot pole. Perhaps it's telescoping. And this one has ring.
Have you never heard the stories of wizards and their magic staves, Jaromir?
No, who needs staff?
You're
Seems
strange
weird.
even among your own strange folk, huh?
Yeah, he's like no wizard I've ever met. Well, if the knight, the sword, armor, none of that's magical.
Nope.
No.
Well, maybe we should try
I
to
had
dispel
echo.
him then.
Did you hear that? I had strange echo.
Yeah, I think that was Nadinus.
As if from the word of God himself.
Let's try dispelling the knight then, if there's no risk there. And then thawing him and see if it works.
Alright, so I think you actually... I don't actually remember how my spells work. Let me drag Knight way over here. We will be extra careful so I don't have to think about how spell actually works. And I drag the Knight to the other side of the temple and I cast a spell magic on him.
Give me a d20 roll.
Yes, indeed.
Nope, it is not dispelled. Knight is just block.
It seems as if ice cannot be dispelled. Perhaps we shall have to heat them up after all.
Well, if it can't be done, it can't be done. Best thaw them and make use of this magic gear that they've got.
All right.
When you cast that spell, do you get any sort of feedback as to whether or not it's like a thing that is dispellable, or if it is like
it just works or it doesn't, Ferris. You know, magic, much like science, very results based, right? We have to test on results of experiment.
You don't understand how your own magic works, do you?
Experiment on spell that I could cast in conjunction with other spells to give me feedback on metaphysical rules of universe.
Do you understand how your own spells work, Yaramir?
I'm sorry?
Do you understand how your own spells work?
It comes and goes.
Neal, what was the name of the wizard that recommended Yaramir and Solek?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to have a word with that guy.
That guy knew his shit, didn't he?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then, assuming that I take Yaramir at his word that it just doesn't work, so I start dragging their bodies to the fire.
All right.
Do they smell once they start to defrost?
Yes, they do.
Nasty.
Yeah, I imagine we have them. We're doing this off in its own little corner.
Yeah, this is nasty work. Maybe, is there like a building over the road or something like that we could get into?
You mean across the blizzard?
Yeah. No, maybe. But
It's a whiteout out there,
Okay.
so...
Well, we'll just live with the smell then.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay.
How does levitate work? Could I just levitate all the excess goop and just move it out into the snow somewhere?
No, once it becomes a liquid, you can't levitate it anymore.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, they're not fully melted yet.
That's true.
We'll just melt them a
so you
little
can-
bit, and then we'll put the rest of them out. in the
So we
snow.
have a precedent here. You can levitate solids, but you cannot levitate liquid.
I think
Yes.
it has to be a single object, right?
Right, and a liquid is...
Creature or object?
Yeah, a liquid is not a
What
single...
defines an object?
See,
Just kidding.
it's dicey territory. No liquids.
See, but I could think of such fun things to do there. Like you could levitate gases, right? Get a gas cloud of some sort of poison gas, levitate it up in the air, wait for people to show up, then levitate it downwards into the group so they all die. Oh my god. Look, all I'm saying is there's great territory that you're missing out on here, Neal.
I think this is for the better.
You like the Nickelodeon thing where they slime people, you levitate all the slime up in the air, and then you just dispel the spell while it's levitating, and then it falls down on people.
Just
It's like,
levitate a box of slime in the air. That's what you need to do then. You know?
but then
And
the
then
box
when you
falls on them.
de-levitate it, a box falls on their head and kills them. And then they're slimy
covered in
afterwards. So
slime.
good fun.
And Ashton Kutcher runs onto the scene and says, "You just got punked."
Yaramir, all of this freezing of people's got me to thinking. Hypothetically, if a person's frozen, yeah, and then 10 years later or a year later they're unfrozen, are they dead or are they still alive? If they were alive when they were
They
frozen.
are dead.
You sure though? Because why would they be?
Because they have not eaten or breathed or drank in 10 years.
Yeah,
And I
but that's-
promise
that-
you, if you do not eat or drink or breathe for 10 years, you will definitely be dead, or perhaps I will have found some way to animate you with powers of magic. But then I think you
Well-
still might be dead.
To contradict you here, Yarmir, didn't you freeze Grimes in stasis for 4 days?
Different. It was magic.
But this
And
is
this
we know that
isn't?
this is magic, right?
You did not say magically frozen, you said frozen.
No, I do mean that. Normalized though. Who's to say? Have you tried? Right? It might be.
No, I've seen people freeze in regular ice.
All
Well,
things,
it doesn't
all
work that
things
way.
are possible with magic, William. Is what I'm trying to help you understand. Yes.
But what if these people aren't dead though?
I mean, you wanted me to dispel them. I tried. I do not have more powerful dispel. If we find more of them in a few years, perhaps I could research power. I don't have better answer for you. You tried what you could. If they were alive, you had Grimes try to talk to their spirits. We looked at them. We de-thawed them. We cast magic on them. We've done our due diligence. I am sure your soul shall be guilt-free.
To speak to only one of these people would open up so many doors for us. It's a shame.
Would it? Would it really? I have that question. Because what would someone 1,500 years ago know of world today?
They could tell us the location of the treasure stores.
This place has almost certainly been looted.
I can tell you where the treasure is, right underneath the dragon.
Anything that hasn't been looted is probably in a collapsed area.
With Grimes on this one.
Yeah. If we're going to find any sort of treasure, it's not going to be in an easily accessed place.
Well, talking about that then, is it worth trying to get underneath that keep?
Back to the dungeons?
I think we'd have to hire a team of... Look, we tried excavating once, William. It was very slow going.
No, but I think I mentioned it last time, but what if there's like a secret entrance into the keep below the rocks? Sometimes the sewers or something like that. Right? Grimes, you've snuck into many keeps in your day. You don't always have to go through the front door, right?
Oh, well, I never. I'm offended, William.
Grimes, you are the worst secret keeper on this entire continent. I know that's not saying much because there's 30 people here, but you'd be the worst one on Drekis too.
It's true though, right? That could be another way in.
There usually is another way in. Well, another way out, right?
Yeah, but, exactly.
Secret exit is just as good as a secret entrance.
Maybe this collapsed keep is a boon to us rather than a disadvantage.
Right. I suppose there'd be some sort of sewer system, wouldn't there?
Yeah, and if it's collapsed, that means that the dragon might not have been able to get at the treasure there.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a secret entrance from the dungeons to the keep, right? Bringing prisoners in and out.
That makes sense.
Well,
we're stuck here for a few days. Why don't we go looking for it? What other choices are there? The dungeons, the sewers?
There's often a little sally port on the side of the gate somewhere.
Neal.
Push the stone just right, and
yeah.
How exactly do dungeons work in your world? So, because like real dungeons would be more like a political prisoner thing, right? Most people didn't go to jail; they would like get stocks or just cut a hand off or something, right? So like, and jails are mostly a political prisoner kind of thing. Is that sort of consistent here, or do sort of regular criminals get thrown into jail?
It's definitely not a political prisoner sort of deal. Someone needs to be put away for a little while. They've done something wrong.
Okay,
if
so
they're
you
not
have
going
like
to stockades, they'd just be tossed in the dungeons.
Okay, so we have typical. It's more like a typical jail then.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay.
At least probably like the surface levels, because there were like 2 levels of dungeons, and then there was the like interrogation area with the pit and the torture implements, right? So the people on the bottom are probably
prisoners of war, stuff like that.
Yeah, some sort of different classification than the upper 2 levels.
I think that seems less likely to me to be connected to the keep then. I would definitely think so if we were talking.
The princess was down there. Do you think she walked overland?
That's a good point, right? She might have came here from the keep.
Do we even know that she's a princess? Could just be a wealthy woman.
How, but she's got the.
She has the sigil,
the crest of the ruling.
Oh, she has a crest
of the ruling family.
Okay. I suppose I can look. I can give it a look for secret doors. I am quite adept at that sort of thing.
Well, we've got at least another day here. So why don't you and Grimes go look for ways into the keep from here, and Yaramay and I'll handle thawing the rest of these corpses.
Sure.
Can I get a perception check from Ferris and Grimes, and I'll make Ferris's secret rolls in secret.
30.
That's all it takes.
Right. You guys find no secret tunnels, entrances, exits, anything like that.
Okay. Ferris being
in the
very
dungeon.
thorough here,
In
like
dungeons.
using his dagger, like sliding it through all of the like cracks in the walls, checking every single nook and cranny, comes out
Yeah, it's
pretty
locked
confident.
and
There's
solid.
no secrets
Yeah.
to
There's,
be found.
I guess, like any good dungeon, no way in or out, or only one way in, no way out.
It is possible it only goes from the keep.
Have we checked the upstairs of the temple, eh?
Yep. You search the whole thing.
Oh well. So do we thaw the rest of the bodies? Get the ring and the.
It is choice I would make is up to you, William. I really don't care.
Yeah. No, let's do it.
Actually, well, one very specific test I want to give you, Neal, instead of just a general blanket roll. Going around this entire like underground dungeon area, if I'm like tapping with the hilt of my dagger on the wall, does anything like I've got very fancy, keen elf ears. Does anything sound different than anywhere else? Does it seem like somewhere's like maybe a door with a hallway on the other side, as opposed to something
No.
just being a wall that connects to the earth?
No.
Okay, so I don't have any different. Okay,
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
just sort of stone.
almost certainly no secret doors.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Perfect. You thaw the remaining 3 bodies.
Yeah.
And they are now thawed. You can make an appraisal check on the young girl that we've been calling Princess's jewelry if you want, Grimes.
Sure. Appraisal is 10. Barely a pass.
Yeah, it's about 20,000 copper worth of jewelry.
Okay. And Yaramir, can you work out what this ring and the staff do?
Let me attempt. Let me examine them, and I hold them in my hands, and I look them over, and I think back, and I attempt to determine their purpose via arcanology.
You want to make
Nice.
an arcanology check? One for the ring, one for the staff.
I can get your map and your people off my screen so I can find me. There we go. Arcanology! There is the staff and there is the ring.
Wonderful. So the staff looks like a pretty standard sort of, how do you want to call it? Like a light staff, a staff that would have a light stone in it, and imagine a certain word turns it on, a certain word turns it off, and you need to know the word in order to be able to turn it on and off. It just
Okay.
There might be other properties hidden in it as well, but that seems to be its general purpose. It could be enchanted further. Who knows? The ring is something that you've read about once before. It is some sort of like magical beacon. So there are other spells that would interact with this that you could then search out an area and be like, there's the beacon is coming from over that way. So the thing that we're looking for is in that direction.
So the as I understand it, the ring is sending out a beacon that can be found, so other people can find the ring.
Yes.
Or the ring is like a sonar device searching out other things.
No. So other people can find the ring.
Okay. Yeah.
Almost like a distress signal sort of thing, except it's always active.
Almost like something you'd put on royalty so that you could find them easily should something go wrong.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of engravings on it? Royal crest or?
No, there's no royal crests on it, but there's like etchings on it, but it's hard to tell whether they're like part of the magic or whether they're decorative, if there's any meaning behind it. It's probably just like a cool looking ring.
That could be useful with all the scouting Grimes does if we can find a way to tune into that ring.
Well, I was going to say the next time Yaramir gets himself lost in the snow, when we go looking for him, he'll be able to find us.
It might take a wizard to be able to locate it, though.
It will.
That's what I mean. If we go looking for him, he'll be able to find us. Right?
I think
it works other way, William. I think
You can
should
track
you wear
the
a ring, I could perhaps find you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If
I were
Grimes
to
wears
wear
the
a
ring.
I do not believe you would have skills to find me.
Yeah,
I don't think Yaramir's ever been lost. More like he's been stuck in a blizzard.
Well, yeah, but we went looking for him, right? And unless we stumbled directly upon him, we were never going to find him. But at least if one of us had that ring, perhaps he would know that we were out looking for him. Either way, though, I agree that Grimes maybe should wear it.
In case he ever gets himself in trouble on scouting runs.
Yeah.
Can I take a look at it? Is it pretty?
Yeah, it's some sort of greenish metal, or maybe it's a stone. It's cool to the touch and quite hard, and it's got like almost like a lattice work all the way around it. So it's not like a solid band. It's like little pockets and then cracks and crevices and winding green things. It's maybe a little small for your hand, Grimes. I don't know how thick your fingers are, but I don't think they're a 16-year-old girl thin.
No, but I could probably fit it on my pinky.
Yeah, you could probably fit it on an off finger.
What if I reduce Grimes and let him grow into the ring?
Put the ring on, he grows back, and
Does it not so I take off my left glove and put it on my left pinky finger. Does it
does
resize
not
over the knuckle?
resize. No.
No. Okay, but I'm able to put it on my left pinky.
Yeah.
Looks fetching, Grimes.
No. I
Suit you.
shrug. Put my glove back over it. Can you feel it?
Me?
No, Yaramir.
Oh.
I do not know. I guess I take a minute and kind of collect
Pocket
myself.
sand, and I tried my best to hide from Yaramir. Maybe draw the phase dagger and hide in a shadow.
Yeah, so Grimes goes and hides somewhere.
I guess I will do my best to kind of empty my mind and reach out, looking for this kind of beacon, right? I saw it with detect magic, kind of out to you, right? So I guess I'll attempt to locate the hidden ethereal Grimes via sonar. Maybe
not reaching out with your mind doesn't seem to do anything. There's probably some sort of spell that goes with it, or
so
something.
then, as I fail, I look around and I'm like, "Caw-caw!" and I wait to see if it bounces back to me. And then when it doesn't, I just no, it appears I cannot find it yet. Perhaps more study must be done with ring.
Well, maybe I'm just too sneaky.
Perhaps that is true. Holy shit, you appeared right next to me. Grimes, you are one sneaky bastard.
All right. So let's talk about what we're going to do when this blizzard ends.
Well, the blizzard's over the next day. You guys have spent all day searching everything and thawing everything.
So looking at they were stacked up on crates and stuff, right? There were barrels and crates around these frozen bodies.
Yes.
I want to check those and see if there's any notes or manuals around them, any kind of writing. I'm wondering if they had some number of hours to survive. I imagine somebody might have wanted to write something down.
The spellcaster has a spell book in it and components.
Maybe.
But you can flip through his book, or at least Yaramir can flip through his book and see that there are no notes or addendums attached to it or anything
Spell
like that.
books are really expensive, aren't they? We could probably sell that for a decent amount somewhere. Especially this is an ancient spell book from a Caledonian wizard.
Yeah, for sure.
Could probably fetch a good price.
Yaramir, can you not use this?
No. I am unlike your simple wizards bound to their books and pages.
Ah, I see.
I have no use for these.
Yeah, you draw your spells right in your skin, eh?
I did not draw these, no. I discover them.
It's been one hell of a night. I take the spell book. I'll keep hold of this. I put it in my backpack. How much does it weigh, Neal?
5 pounds.
Oh dear. Well,
That's too
I lean
valuable,
into
so-
Ferris. Well, it's about time he gave up the sword. He's rubbish with that anyways. But I don't know if I can stand wizards.
He's getting better. He's just a bit of an old man.
I just don't want to. I don't know. I feel like it's probably worth shitloads, and we should keep hold of it somewhere safe.
You should be careful giving him so much shit, Grimes. William might be a little bit slow these days, but he's a man still built like a bull. He could probably overpower you without much effort.
Probably. Really?
Well, you never know. You might throw out your back in the process. I'll give Grimes that 1 in 20 chance.
Do we need to spar again?
No, let's not talk about that. It was my knees. The chill in the wind. It got to my knees. You were slithering around like a little snake. Grimes,
I might call you a blade master nowadays, William. It might be worth giving him a quick rematch.
No, I have no
Put
desire
this
to.
young whippersnapper in his place.
Grimes is respectful of my position. I feel no need to teach him a lesson just yet.
Ferris, on the other hand.
I'm not beholden to your ways.
So last time, did we check Valfara, Bellamont, Illumis, or the main temple? We did check some of them, right?
Right, so you have checked the middle one, the All, and the Velmontarius dungeon. You have not been to the Illumis dungeon, the Bellum dungeon, or the Velthara one. I'm sorry, I should say crypts.
Have we confirmed that they have crypts?
Yeah, you saw stairs down in Illumis, Bellum, and Velthara. They have some sort of underground component. The Quantarius one had no underground component.
All right, so Bellum, Illumis, or Velthara. So that's War, Vengeance, or
Light.
Honestly, if you are looking for treasure, the only place I would look is Quantarius. He is god of trade, after all.
There is no Quantarius Templar.
Yes, there is, over by docks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You need to expand your mind more. It seems you are running out of mind space.
I'd forgot that one. Well, I'd be tempted to go to the Bellum Temple, but if you want to head to Quantarius first, I'm happy to do so.
It seems like if you want treasure, God of Trade would be a good place to have it.
We're going to check all of them.
Treasure, God of War seems like place where maybe not so much treasure, more killing and death.
Maybe
at the same time, though, if you were going to go looting through this place, I feel like the Trade Temple is probably the first place you would go.
Well, look, we're checking all of them, right? We're not leaving.
In all honesty, I do not really expect to find much of anything anywhere in here.
That's what I mean.
Large creature use keep as standing area, and most gold is gone. I fairly expect we will have to find gold. I am with Grimes. I feel like Dragon and/or Giants has all of treasure.
Considering we just dredged up a pair of magic items,
yeah,
I wouldn't count us out too soon.
Look, we're checking everywhere, so why don't we just go to Bellum since it's close?
All right. We are going to take a break, and when we come back from break, we will see the party exploring the Temple of Bellum. See you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye.